Hi, I'm here today with Artem MMA. Thank you for taking the time to join me.
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess the first thought is, UFC Azerbaijan as we record this just happened a few hours ago. What were your takeaways from the card?
I thought it was a great card. To be honest with you, I think there were some massive highlights on that card. I think there were some lowlights as well, but I think that out of that card, I can definitely take away a few standout performances. Obviously, the 8-second knockout for Yakyaev was quite significant. I think that him now on the streak that he's on definitely could find himself very close to the rankings, if not in the rankings. And then as for Donchenko did what he needed to do. It's quite happy to see that a victory. And then, of course, Rafael Fiziev getting a spinning back kick KO was pretty major. I do think there was a couple of letdowns, such as the first fight of the night. I was a bit disappointed in how that worked out. Abdullayev did win, but he couldn't cut off the cage, and a little bit of controversy there as well to start off the night, which makes things quite fun.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's to win in front of your home crowd in a main event like that for Fiziev is obviously has to be the main takeaway. But I thought it was also the most clear performance we've seen Almabayev have as well. And, I think he definitely inserted himself in the title picture.
Yeah, I have to agree. Almabayev, the way that he beat Johnson, took him down 6 times, I think, 3 times in the first round, even outstruck Johnson as well. And that's like just one of those fights that honestly, Charles Johnson, I was saying in my breakdown and with my breakdowns with others, I did a few collaborations myself leading up to that card, saying that I very heavily considered picking Johnson because it is just one of those fights that Johnson could look good in. And Almabayev dominated him with a massive finish in the 3rd round. I think that Almabayev doesn't necessarily enter the title picture right now, but I think he could find himself in a very, very significant matchup, maybe against Kyoji Horiguchi or something like that, with a win that dominant, that massive, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'd definitely be ready for Kyoji Horiguchi fight. That would be must watch. And I didn't get a chance to look at the bonus yet, but I'm assuming the 8-second KO also got a bonus.
Yeah, so Fiziev got the bonus, Almabayev got the bonus, Yakyaev got the bonus, and Donchenko all got bonuses. They gave it 4 bonuses, but no fight of the night though.
And I guess knowing your channel, we're coming up to your favorite time of the year, Contender series.
Yes.
So we're finding out, fights are getting announced. We still don't have near the full field yet, but from the names announced, I think the deepest division I've seen so far, from my perspective, would be the flyweight division.
Yes, I would tend to agree. I will probably add on to that as well a little bit. I do know for a bit of a fact now that we can't expect many bantamweights on the show because the Ultimate Fighter has a lot of major bantamweights and they've already signed some losers from that show already to the promotion. So I think we are definitely going to see weight classes like flyweight, middleweight. Obviously, is always targeted in the heavier weight classes too. Yeah.
But yeah, I think looking at the names so far for flyweight, it was very deep class, but I think to a lot of people, Bilal Hassan, Marcus Degley, and Paris Moran were kind of the most well-known names in that list.
Yeah, I agree. And to be honest with you, I don't know who Moran or Degley are going to fight against, but so far we have Bilal Hassan fighting on the first week, and he's been given a very favorable matchup, in my opinion, considering the last time we saw Mridul Saikia fight on a big stage. It was a very quick knockout loss to Agula Lee. And the way that Bilal Hassan fights, being a very good pressure boxer, a very good all-round, well-rounded fighter. He can grapple offensively too if he needs to. But I think in a matchup like this, in a fight which he knows he's going to have the striking advantage, he's already been posting about it on social media. I am very fully expecting Hassan to come out aggressive and get a first-round knockout over Mridul Saikia in this matchup.
Yeah, I definitely think Hassan is definitely someone to watch. I know a lot of people have him as their number 1 or number 2 prospect. And then, Degley is not very far behind. I guess, from your perspective, as of now, who do you think has the potential to go the farthest out of those 3?
Right now, I would probably say it's tough because to be honest, Degley's the most proven. Obviously, he's got a lot of experience. Paris Moran has fought for titles himself. He's been 5 rounds against Robert Echeverria recently, which is how he secured his position on the show. But I think so far, potential wise, I'm going to be honest. I think I probably lean Digly, maybe, but yeah, Bilal Hassan and Digly are both similar age. You know, Bilal Hassan's 25 years old, Digly's 26 years old. So it's pretty hard to say, but right now I'd probably say Digly, just given the level of competition, the well-roundedness that he's presented. You know, he's a very much a good Muay Thai fighter, but we've seen multiple times now in his career that he can even grapple offensively too. And so can Hassan, to be fair, but I think that Digly has just shown me a lot more, I think, to sort of back that.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think they both have very high potential. Degley, again, proven as the LFA champ, since defended his title. And, if you look in the UFC and just the prospects coming in, I don't know any other division like flyweight where there's just, this many amazing fighters under 27, 28.
Yeah, I love the flyweight division. It's always kind of been one of my favorite divisions. I think it's very underrated. I know a lot of people would credit, of course, Brandon Moreno for saving the division, but I do think that Figueiredo managed to do that before that massive, I believe, was it quadrilogy? Did they fight four times, 5 times? Yeah, before they saved the division. But I think ever since then, the division's really just started to take off, and it's just super, super fun. And there's definitely quite a few guys now on that promotion at the weight class, such as guys that I'm just looking at as I scroll through the Tapology rankings. You know, Jose Ochoa's young, up and coming, big, powerful striker. Alden Correa got a shot on short notice. He's big time, getting knockouts himself on short notice and coming through. Emmanuel Rodriguez, Ray Saruya, of course. You've also got, obviously, at the top of the division, Josh Van, Tatsuru Taira, super young. Yeah, just a great prospect division, I think.
With Van still getting used to having a champ younger than me, that's going to take a while to get used to.
Yeah, that's true. The thing about Van, dude, like his fighting style is so awesome. It's actually the perfect fighting style. It's just a shame that he had to beat Pantoja in that way. You know, that's really why I haven't been able to sort of latch onto him as a big fan. But his fighting style is like the perfect style that I really
forget
like,
who said this, but it was a very accurate description I heard. Is your favorite fighter's favorite fighter is Josh Van.
Yeah, definitely one of those guys.
And then I guess expanding out of the flyweight division, another huge name on the Contender Series that seems to have caught a lot of people's eye is Sean Clancy, from Cage Warriors, Scotland. I guess, what do you think about his potential, not only in Contender Series, but going forward in his career?
I think that he's a very important prospect for the UFC to pick up if he can get past Gary Bolletto on the Contender Series, which I do think he will be able to do. I don't think that the UFC has a lot of Scottish representation right now. I know Mark Ewan was supposed to be the big up-and-coming guy out of Scotland, but he struggled a little bit in the PFL, lost a couple fights, didn't deal with the pressure well. And then as for Sean Clancy Jr., I think that he could definitely be the next sort of big name out of Scotland on the rise. You know, he started out more of a grappler than anything. And then recently, the boxing has really come a long way. In fact, I would say that the boxing is what I actually think of when I think of Sean Clancy Jr. Now, you do watch his fights. In some fights, he can get a little bit too aggressive. I think even in the first round against Melvin Van Sujam, we saw a bit of that, where he's kind of swinging his punches a bit. But when he started to tighten up the punches and he landed that combo against Sujam, that was sort of the best we've seen of him, and obviously he knocked him out with that combo. He didn't need to follow him down with ground and pound. And I think Sean Clancy Jr., when he's at his best, he's pressuring, he's boxing, he's throwing body shots with the hands, and then he also can wrestle and grapple offensively effectively too. He's just a very good fighter overall.
Yeah, seeing with the World Cup over here with the Scottish fans, definitely not a bad fan base to have on your side.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously they've had success in the past with Paul Craig and Chris Duncan. But I don't recall someone coming into the UFC or Contender Series with as much hype as Sean Clancy.
Yeah, no, Sean Clancy's gonna be. This is gonna be a bad comparison. I don't mean to put a bad omen on him, but you know how George Hardwick had so much hype behind him. I think that the Cage Warriors fans will get behind Sean Clancy Jr. in the same way that they have, Luke Riley in the UFC, George Hardwick when he come into the Contender Series, Harry Hardwick even in his UFC run too. I think that we could see definitely a lot of hype behind Sean Clancy Jr. I do think it is deserved. He's looked very good in his professional MMA career.
I think it will definitely be a very exciting year of Contender Series, and should be exciting as we find out more opponents and more on who's coming on the cards. So I'm definitely very excited for this year.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. And a couple of the matchups, I'm going to be honest, they're little bit one-sided on paper. So I'm hoping that we see a bit more sort of close matchups announced. Like even Colton Loud versus Frank Silva. I look forward to that matchup because I think it's going to be very competitive between two guys that haven't quite proven themselves yet. I don't think at the top level. So I'm kind of looking forward to matchups more like that rather than some other matchups we've got. At the middleweight
Yeah.
division. I think
I'm
it's
hoping with
week
the success
5.
of the Azerbaijan event today, maybe Shaparov can get on this year.
Yeah, he needs to sign straight up, to be honest. But it
Yeah.
sounds like they're gonna go to Azerbaijan every year, so hopefully that happens. But yeah, there's a couple of matchups on this contender series. Yeah, Martin Kozak versus Juan Cabrera. I want to point out as a pretty major interest of mine because Martin Kozak is a 6'4" Slovakian kickboxer fighting a 5'8" former lightweight Juan Cabrera, who is very intrigued by that matchmaking by the
Yeah.
guys there, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't recall. Maybe besides the Stefan Struve fight, I don't know if I've ever seen a larger size difference.
Yeah, and that's at the middleweight division as well.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Where can people best follow you? Obviously, I highly recommend Artem MMA for predictions not only for the UFC but other promotions. But where else can people check out your content?
I do have an Instagram page. It's artem.mma.analysis. And I also do have an X or a Twitter, if you want to call it that. And that is Artem Analysis. But I kind of use the Twitter for more personal use. I do a lot of NBA commentary on that more than anything. But yeah, my Instagram, I do post my predictions on there as well.
Yeah, should be all kind of off topic, but should be an interesting free agency as well for the NBA.
Yeah, it should be. It should be. I'm very interested to see what teams like the Chicago Bulls do, even what the Timberwolves do, getting a power forward potentially, because I don't think they have a lot of power forward depth at all after the trade for LaMelo, which is that's gonna be such a fun team to watch, man.
Being a Knicks fan, I'm content for the next 40 years. So I just need to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
one.
that's true. I feel like once you see your team win a championship, it's like even like in the NBA draft where I'm sure a lot of Knicks fans probably wanted to see them draft like Cam Carr or something like that, and then they didn't. They just traded away the picks for cash, tried to get under the second apron. But I feel like it's one of those things. It's like we won the championship.
Yeah.
We'll let it slide. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm good for the next few decades. Well, I really
Yeah.
appreciate you taking the time to come on. And yeah, very excited for this upcoming series and hopefully for more announcements soon.
Well, good. No worries. There should be quite a few coming out soon as well. Yeah.